Hey, Mark Rodriguez here. With me is...
GP Channels and Ninja Juke. He called me Wendy.
Yep. You're watching the review, Sanctum, everything, anything may be reviewed. And today we're talking about Spider-Man, brand new day. And yes, it is still opening weekend, so we're going to try to... we'll go into some spoilers, but yeah, if you haven't seen the movie yet, avoid all social media, first and foremost. But also, try not to watch this video until afterwards, because we are going to go into heavy spoilers.
Yeah.
So, right off the bat, the movie goes off of, I guess, several years or so, or months after the last one. If you guys remember with the Far From Home, I think it was called No Way Home. The No Way Home movie ended with Peter Parker having no choice but to do like a full-on wish to erase everyone's memory that he was Peter Parker, because of course at the end of the other movie, Mysterio revealed that he was Peter Parker to the world, and he did the wish. It was done wrong the first time, so like Doc Ock and all them people from the other movies came in. So to fix it, you had to do like the wish, like the legit way, where legit no one remembers who he is. And this is the aftermath of that. So now Peter Parker is kind of living his life, just really throwing himself into being Spider-Man. And he's stopping all these other bad guys, and it's implied he had like his career. And this is the part where I disappoint some people, but yeah, he fights again like Boomerang and Tombstone and the Hand and all that. But most of them are just like montage cameos and everything. And the thing was, I was surprised at most of Tombstone because there was a lot of news about him in the movie. This guy's gonna be in the movie. This guy's portraying him in the movie and stuff like that.
And of course, for a person like me who keeps up with nothing like that, because I'm rarely online, I had no idea at all. I like to be surprised when I go see movies.
Yeah, and the funny thing was that Wendy asked me, who's that? I'm like, yo, that's Tombstone. And then the person on the other side of me, another lady, was like, who's that? Who's that? Because, oh, that's Tombstone. So I was kind of helping in with the little geek nods here and there. Oh, I was flipping out when I saw Boomerang. Like, oh, God, it's Boomerang, because he's one of those very recurring Spider-Man enemies. Doesn't appear in the cartoons and stuff as much, but yeah, he's a very recurring comic book enemy. But anyways, while this is happening, Ned and MJ are living their lives. And of course, for convenience sake, Ned is like live streaming their college life, and here's a new college, or here's a new apartment, and here's and all that stuff. And Peter's just watching it, feeling some kind of way, because of course he's no longer part of the life. They don't know him, that kind of stuff. And then, like to I guess really that kickstart the plot now. There's this big armored truck going through the city and everything, and among Spider-Man trying to stop it, he also runs into the Punisher, and I guess it's been revealed that on some unseen adventure, because Spider-Man was done in the Punisher show, because he has a show, and some unseen adventure, Spider-Man saved his life once.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, and I kind of forgot. I said, did I miss something here? When apparently he helped Punisher on Staten Island? Or?
Yeah. That's like an unseen. That's also the bad thing about some of the MCU shows. It's like whatever, but you're never gonna have like the actual Iron Man or Captain America or Spider-Man show up in the shows. It's always like the lesser people, so But anyways, yeah. So that's the thing. So I guess Spider-Man saved his life once, and Spider-Man always trying to like calm him down for that, gunning down everything that moves and stuff like that.
I really enjoyed their banter, honestly. That was one of the better parts of the film. Because like I said, Peter doesn't really have too many people he can hang out with or talk to because of what happened in the other film. And it's nice seeing his interaction with the Punisher, it's just, I don't know, it just was funny. It's like, I'm not going to watch it, come on now, oh, you owe me, man. Like, well, you shouldn't have came and saved me. Well, I had to say that that's the right thing to do, and, well, I didn't ask for you to do it my way. And then, well, you shouldn't do it your way. And you can tell that they enjoy each other's company, but they're still arguing with each other, but like in that friendly comedic type way.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no real ill between them, and he sees Peter like as a friend, but he just wouldn't fully admit something like that.
Yeah. So then the other thing is that the armored truck was headed towards a prison that they were going to, I guess, send the Scorpion away to like a more security prison, high security, whatever, because his what do you call it, Scorpion outfit or whatever. And so after a lot of stuff going back and forth, the mysterious thing is when they finally get to the armored truck or whatever, it was a random old lady controlling it, and she was so confused as to what the hell's going on.
Yeah, and then it's like she didn't have full control of her mind, and then suddenly it stopped. You know, she was like confused about what had happened, how she had gotten there. And we found out she was a janitorial worker, wherever that came from, and she was in the tank.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But unfortunately, also the Scorpion got away, and the tank also had bombs in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that caused more stuff. So there's this corporation called Damage Control, and it looks like there's multiple attacks against it and everything. So they kind of enlist Spider-Man to help out.
Yeah, because all the different locations they've been targeted some way, including the one with the woman that was driving the tank.
Yeah, and then Spider-Man also is able to see that whatever was controlling the lady is controlling other people, and it kind of jumps from person to person, and they actually try to jump into Spider-Man, but like Spider-Man was able to kick it back out, whatever this thing was.
Yeah, however that worked, I don't think that wasn't fully explained, was it?
I'm thinking because he is
partially
Spider-Man,
mutant and
yeah, not a regular human, and all that. So that's the mystery. And then of course there's a funny scene that took me a while to realize is that Spider-Man went to the office for assistance, and it was Yelena as part of the new Avengers trying to help him out.
Yeah, and I was seeing like, oh, cool, we get to see her again. I liked her. I really like White Widow. I mean, yeah, whatever. I really like her. So
yeah, it took me a while to figure out because I mean the accent, and also because she was in the big pool thing with her hair down and everything. I didn't recognize her like at first, and also because after all the the news, we got this guy, we got that guy in the movie, we got the Punisher in the movie, we got the Hulk in the movie that's gonna come up later. There was nothing about Yelena's in the movie too somewhere, or rumors confirmed that Florence Pugh's going to be in the movie somewhere. Like none of that. So it took me a while to, oh yes, Yelena, that kind of thing. But of course, the problem is that Spider-Man, his problem is it's small potatoes, We
oh yeah, I love that. I love that whole thing because he went to her to ask for help, and she said, "Okay, now you guys, you deal with these small potatoes. We new Avengers, we deal with the big potatoes. You have small potato. I give you a little help, but we are not coming to help you. You deal with those small potatoes." I just love, and I like the accent. So yeah. I like her accent and how she pronounces the word, the say that. I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was fun. I don't know, man. I don't know how other people feel about it because I know how some people felt about them being the new Avengers in general. Apparently, after the fact, which I had no problem with because I don't take that stuff serious enough to have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So, so yeah. So Yelena was, helped him out a bit, talked to him in her office.
Yeah. So the other thing is that Peter Parker throughout the movie, he has like these random headaches. He has like strong wrist pains and things, and just weird stuff going on. Until finally he like wakes up in a giant web cocoon outside the city somewhere.
See, I was waiting for him to sprout like a couple of extra arms, but
yeah. That is gonna somewhere we're gonna bring up though, but. So Spider-Man, his powers are out of control. His what do you call it? Spider sense is like way dialed up where he can't.
It's dialed up to 100. So just a little drip of water 20 miles away, and he'll probably hear it and react to it.
Yeah, and then of course now he has organic web shooters.
Yeah.
And everything. Now I do like the fact that he did mention the other Peter Parker from, the Tobey Maguire version, because I was thinking, okay, you have to mention it somewhere, because technically speaking, you already met another version of Spider-Man with the organic web shooters. I was really hoping they would bring it up and whatever, but yeah, he did. He said, hey, because I think they were calling themselves Peter 1, Peter 2, and Peter 3 and told each other apart. So it did say, well, Peter 2 had these, he was a cool guy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I do like that they brought that up,
And I liked his reaction to it because he was kind of disgusted at the thought of shooting webbing naturally.
Yeah.
And the way he was pushing it, it was it was making me squirm. I was like, oh, you think about it, like how Toby just did it like that and like that and like that. And even when I saw the original, those movies with Tobey Maguire and he just shooting it, I remember at the time I was like, I didn't finish all of Spider-Man back in the 90s with the cartoon, but I remember him having actually using
the
web shooters, not that he was actually making the webs,
Yeah.
So.
Now I remember that back then the reason he did that in the movie was because to find some way to explain how he would not just be smart enough to, but get the money to make the shooters and the web that.
Yeah, he was always short on money. So because and he was. Well, for the show, it was kind of stealing stuff from the lab. I mean, borrowing stuff from his school's lab.
Yeah. So, anyways, so that led him to talk to Bruce Banner, who now is like giving classes and stuff, and now he has this inhibitor thing that prevents him from turning to the Hulk at all, which is kind of confusing because the last time we saw him, he was like like this, I guess, Hulk, but with Bruce Banner in full control in the Endgame movie.
Yeah, so I guess maybe after Endgame, he just started thinking about everything that happened during that, and I guess it kept. The emotions overpowered that, and he would go into like super Hulk mode, and maybe that's why they decided to do the inhibitor so that he will always have full 100% control, and not maybe have those chances where he could lose control. Like he's maybe like 95% of the time he's in control, but there's always that 5% chance that something could go wrong and he loses it.
Yeah. So eventually, throughout the movie, Peter Parker does run into Ned and MJ and hangs out with them like a wee bit and stuff. And unfortunately, the thing that bounces back and forth now found out that Spider-Man cares about her. So now he's going to start to target her. So Spider-Man has to grab her and keep her safe and keep her under the Punisher's, I guess, care.
Why did you bring your girlfriend here? She's not my girlfriend. Look like her girlfriend to me. She's not my girlfriend. But you got to care about her. Bring her here. Don't touch stuff. I'm sorry. I mean, that wasn't a dialogue, but it probably should have been.
It probably was that. And then, so stuff like that happened. And another thing is that the weird, the mind thing, it actually played a good prank on both us and Peter, where finally, like MJ pretended that she snapped out of it and she remembered and she mentioned events in the first 2 movies and whatever and stuff and acted like oh my god, I remember you're Peter Parker and all that stuff.
Yeah, we were classmates in high school together and we were all friends. I remember Peter. Nice to see you. How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I don't think it went that way, but you know what I mean. But then we find out that's like the thing. So so eventually it is revealed that Jean Grey, interesting, that the new MCU version of the Jean Grey, because we are going to eventually get MCU version of the X-Men, she's the one that's doing all this stuff. And her big thing is because she wants to get something that's behind like a big vault or something in a damage control building and everything. So it's a big thing. They attack the building. They threaten the lives of everyone there. They get control of the Hulk. And the thing is, while at first he's like the regular Hulk, but still under, her control, after the inhibitor thing gets broken and whatever, like now something got broken or something got cut loose inside him. So now like the original OG Hulk's coming out, and Banner's trying to control it, but he can't and everything.
And he was trying to say, get away, because get out, everyone get out the building.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna start smashing you like he did Loki.
Yep. So we got the big fight there. We got Spider-Man versus the Hulk, the original Hulk, back from the older movies before he got more, comedic or whatever. And so that's the thing. But again, I'm not saying that is the most weirdest thing ever to have the Hulk come back, but in a Spider-Man movie. Just like how Red Hulk was to appear in the Captain America, the Sam Wilson Captain America movie. It's just so weird how they, because the universal rights or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they had that big old thing, and Spider-Man eventually helped them capture Jean Grey, because of course at that time he didn't know, and then we find out that the whole thing was that Jean Grey was actually trying to rescue her sister Sarah, that was captured earlier by the damage control people, so they're bad and whatever. So once Spider-Man finds that out, now he gotta go.
He figured it out. He figured that he was being lied to, and after the conversation, after they did, they could, get Jean, and then we both could tell the guy was lying. But at the time, Peter didn't realize he was lying until something that MJ says, and then it finally clicked, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense because of what the guy that's head of the, that group of the damage control people were saying is like, wait a minute. And then it clicked that there's something off with them wanting Jean.
Yeah. And I won't spoil the whole thing, but unfortunately, stuff happened to the sister, and now Jean Grey really wants to kill the guy and stuff, and there's a lot of, talking down and things and whatever, and I guess it could be like that without spoiling too much at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's the thing. And my understanding was that Jean Grey really was kind of like that, kind of like off the wall, out of control before she would eventually meet Xavier and join
Oh,
the
like
X-Men.
the stereotypical teenage girl that can't control her emotions.
Yes.
Don't you love those stereotypes for girls?
But anyway, that was her story. So we'll see what happens. And again, that's what they're doing. So they're kind of lightly sprinkling in some of these characters so that whenever the X-Men movie comes out, it's less of a burden. Because, we already know Jean Grey. And then we already know whoever else they might bring in there and stuff like that.
And we already know Colossus. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Deadpool, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like y'all just couldn't afford to get the rest of the X-Men here.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is that it did end by saying Spider-Man will return, but it didn't specifically say Spider-Man will return in Doomsday. But it's also interesting because when you watch the Doomsday trailer, Spider-Man was not anywhere in there, and they just want to keep that surprise or something. But something happened to Spider-Man. We won't spoil it, but something happened. So I'm kind of confused what they're gonna do. What's the next movie? At least of the Spider-Man contained movies and everything. But yeah.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, apparently there aren't going to be any films in between these Avenger films, right? No.
Yeah, like it's gonna be Doomsday and Secret Wars, and apparently there's not gonna be any. I mean, they'll change their mind, right? But as of right now, they're saying there are gonna be no movies in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. So that having said Doomsday, like I guess really like sinks in without you being sidetracked by all these other thousands of movies and shit, you know?
Yeah, because that's what happened with me with the MCU in general. Because like I said, I have not seen all of these movies, and I never will, because there were just too many to keep up with, and I got into it kind of late in the game. I mean, I did see the first Iron Man movie with my father when that originally came out, and that was pretty much it for me for a while. Then I found out, like, oh, they do all these different... all the movies are connected that are coming out. I was like, wait, what? So when I was watching Thor, and then they would talk about the Tesseract thing.
Yeah, Tesseract.
And that's also, that's all the, I saw Avengers. It was like all over the place. I saw Captain America, but everything was just so all over the place, and I didn't keep up. So some things you mentioned here, I'm not gonna know. So I'm just saying, I'm just trying to start over fresh. So with these sets of movies. So.
Yeah. And then the other thing, so for the movie, I enjoyed the movie. It was a lot of fun. It felt like a real, I guess kind of weird because I guess Spider-Man in this version is just never going to really have a more self-contained Spider-Man movie because that's the consequence of being an MCU. There's always going to be some MCU guest star here and there. Like the first one had a lot of Iron Man in it. The second one had like Nick Fury in them. And the third one, of course, had all the other Spider-Man and the people from the Maguire and the Garfield movies, and Doctor Strange and all them thrown in. And this one was like crazy because it had a bunch of stuff that was like non-Spider-Man, but like, I mean, the Punisher, the Hulk, the Hand is in it quite a lot. The Hand is usually a Daredevil type bad guy.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And, well, the other bad guys don't count. I mean, they had them on top, but at least they were Spider-Man villains. Like Tombstone and Scorpion and those were Spider-Man villains, But the other thing, and Jean Grey from the X-Men. And of course, that's your major spoiler. I mean, I think everyone else figured it out by now, but I do know they were trying to do a very big thing with keeping a secret that Sadie Sink is in the movie, but we don't know who she is. We can't whatever. But everyone, like the moment she had the shade of red hair, they knew it was Jean Grey.
Well, I knew nothing. Because I knew nothing. Everything. The only thing I knew about the Spider-Man movie is the trailer that we saw months ago and what I saw last night. That's about it. Like, I don't keep up with anything. If I see a trailer for a movie and say, hey, this sounds interesting, let's watch it. That's about it for me. I'm very, very old school.
Now, one thing I was very confused is that Jean Grey's powers just don't work that way. You know what I mean? It's like her consciousness controls someone's body, and it could jump from body to body, and it gets just like a 33-mile radius or something. She could jump, like a limit and stuff like that. And I'm like, their powers don't work that way. So
unless it did unless it worked at some point like that in the comics, because like I said, the character's been around.
Tell us, so I don't know.
I mean, because the character's been around since the 1960s. I mean, so many iterations, so many differences.
Yeah, you guys can tell us.
And the fact that she even had an older sister, which I never knew. So apparently, like you said, they said she was a wild card before she joined up with Professor X.
Yeah.
I was Professor Xavier, so...
And then the other thing is that was the thing, is I knew she was going to be in the movie. I already guessed it was going to be Jean Grey. But the thing is, with the hopping around stuff, I was confused because I'm like, the fuck is doing that? I don't know any Spider-Man villain that can do that. And I was thinking that since Jamie was going to be in the movie, I was thinking more of that whenever she shows up, maybe she'll help Spider-Man stop this bad guy, but not that it was her, because I'm like, well, her powers don't work that way. It's like, I don't, it's so weird. So, it's like a movie about like someone with like ice powers. You see someone getting frozen throughout the movie, and then it turns out the bad guy's the Green Goblin or something. But you're kind of like, but the Green Goblin's powers don't work that way. What you know?
Yeah, he throws bombs. He don't throw ice. He throws bombs.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of thrown off and everything.
How about this? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, that would not be. No, so let's say it's Carnage.
Yeah, Carnage. Carnage powers don't work that way either. But anyway, that's what threw me off. That's what didn't make me think Jean Grey the moment like the stuff started. I was thinking that because Spider-Man has like 10,000 bad guys. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some I haven't heard of that does that. So I was like,
it was a shocker. No, it was a shocker the whole time.
Yeah. That was a shocker the whole time. He wanted to get his gauntlets back. His gauntlets were featured in the movie. He wanted to get his gauntlets back and everything. But
let's dedicate this to Dad.
Oh God, yeah, because her dad actually owned the original comic book where the Shocker was introduced.
Yeah.
It's just too bad that it succumbed to time. Because back when you're a kid, back in the day of comic books costing 35 cents, you're not thinking, ooh, let me put this in a plastic bag for years and years down the line. But,
the quality of it's very fragile now.
Yeah.
And the cover is even a little ripped there. So
yeah.
But I still have it.
Yep. But anyways, I liked the movie. It was a pretty good movie. My only complaint was I just felt that it was like the ending thing was not resolved. His whole thing with Spider-Man mutating to something was not resolved. There was never a bigger question about like what if he mutates further, because of course that's what happens in the comics where he does eventually become a giant spider. Like first he has like the 6 arms, but then he becomes an actual giant spider monster, and I thought they were going to go in that direction. So it's kind of weird that it's like he got the inhibitor, he got it under control, he lost it.
But he still had control. But he still has some control over it. But like you said, it still doesn't explain. It doesn't like stop the mutation process. Him being able to control himself is one thing, because that's all in the mind. But the physiological stuff going on, that should have been more to it. Somehow,
but and that was the whole thing near the end. It's kind of like because Jean was still taunting him, getting in his mind. Are you the Spider-Man or are you Peter Parker? And he has like this big moment where like I'm both, and he like whatever, But he fully embraces the new powers and the heightened ability and all that. But yeah, there's no question about what if it mutates further. What if he becomes an actual spider creature thing? It's just like okay. I don't need the inhibitor, and I guess I got organic web shooter. I guess we're doing this now. Yeah, like that overall threat never happened or never whatever. Cause that was another thing in this movie. Parker was impressed by Bruce Banner's inhibitor, so he asked a lot of questions about that. But it wasn't
to make his own.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, for example, Spider-Man cartoon, when they were doing like tests on him and stuff, and they found out that whatever it is still mutating further. So we never got to hear that implication or whatever. Like it's just starting now with the organic web shooters, but what's happening next? We don't know. So and now with all this doomsday stuff coming up, I mean.
I think I have a theory that they might go back into that, like, because he can't maintain that forever. I mean, if his body is legitimately changing, we'll have to eventually change. Right now, starting out with the web shooters, the actual organic webs, and the mind thing. And all that stuff. But it seems like they're gonna have to get back into that. So. Well, anyway, for me personally, I really liked the movie. I did not see his set of Spider-Man films, but the last one I saw was with Garfield, right? Yeah, the Garfield films with Gwen Stacy and stuff. Those were the last set of Spider. And I didn't see Into the Spider-Verse and all that stuff. But this movie was still easy to follow, even though I didn't, see those. And I already knew what the premise was, that nobody knows Peter Parker because of all the stuff that happened in other movies, and Doctor Strange scrambling people's brains and erasing Peter fully from existence to the point where he's not even his own high school yearbook anymore or something. I was Like, geez, I'm saying, even if he went and reintroduce himself to the others, hey, I'm Peter Parker, I think we went to school together. And it just restarted. What do you mean? I sat in the back of class with you.
No, that was someone else or something.
Yeah,
That was Flash Thompson or something. Don't forget, you know, like.
No, that's that's something I was personally hoping for. Cause say, well, he can't rekindle, go back to that past, but maybe he could just introduce himself and become their friend.
Yeah.
And just start over from scratch. I mean, it's the fact that he already knows them and what they like. Seemed like it would be a little easier to get back into that. So. And I think he really should have done that with Ned, and that's what I was hoping for when he saw Ned. That he would just say, hey, I think we went to school together. We went to such and such school together. Oh, man, I don't remember you. Yeah, well, yeah, we can hang out. Oh, what do you like? Oh, you like that? Yeah, man, let's go hang out and all that stuff. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Other thing I do have a problem with, okay, Peter has all this tech. He's paying for a place to live. He has food to eat, I'm sure. And he can afford to buy flowers.
A lot of flowers.
Lots of flowers, like every other week. So do spiders though? I want to know, what is he doing for a living, for work? That's what I would love to know. I mean, all the other Peter Parkers, they've all had jobs.
Yeah.
And I know it's not really that big a deal, but he has all that tech. He has to be funding it somewhere, and he's not going to school. So there's a big disconnect and suspension of disbelief for me for that one.
Yeah.
So that was my main nitpick with this movie, and and the stuff you mentioned about like, hey, so is there gonna be more to this mutation thing? He has control over it now. I mean, how is he gonna keep it down so that it doesn't go further than what it already has?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my that was my issue. I was like, what he's not a photographer. He's not delivering pizzas. He's not a bag boy in a corner market. I mean. Yeah,
and he's also not officially funded by none of the Avengers.
Like we're not seeing anything like that. Yeah. So where is he getting his money from to do all to even continue to do his web launcher stuff, his web stuff? Because at least in the other thing you can pass it off that he's a university student and he just sometimes borrows the materials that he needs. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is kind of a weird little thing. Any random throwaway line in there would have solved that,
Yeah.
He works with this cop girl that I guess helps locate the crime scenes or whatever, and she kept telling him to relax because he's stretching himself too thin. There could have been a random throwaway line
like he's
in
gonna be
there.
a consultant for the police department or something.
Well, not that, but you could have said something like, I'm busy, I'm Spider-Man, I'm doing whatever, I got my regular job on top of that, even if you don't mention it, but he said mention it.
Mention or it's not even shown, just that he is getting some form of income from someplace.
Yeah.
For a guy that doesn't exist. Well, I will say this much, at least in this iteration, because everyone forgot who he was and he don't have any real direct connection to anyone, he can get away with not wearing his mask more.
Yeah.
So,
see there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there we go, guys. It's a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It's just that little nitpick at the end. And also I just feel kind of weird how the main antagonist, I guess it's more like antagonist and villain because she was misunderstood, was Jean Grey, which is kind of weird too. It's kind of like, I don't know, watching a Fantastic Four movie, but the movie's about stopping apocalypse or something. It's like they don't really, that's not really
That's an X-Men character.
Or no, I don't know. I guess Namor just messes with them a while, but still. Or you're watching a Namor movie and the bad guy is, I don't know, Dr. Octopus or something.
I was about to say Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got it worse one. The Hobgoblin.
Yeah, there we go. As voiced by Mark Hamill. Anyways, that was kind of weird, but again, I guess it's a consequence, and that is one of the biggest things people have complained since the first movie that it's just part of the MCU. It's a consequence, I guess. He'll never have a more standalone, straight up Spider-Man movie because it's always gonna have to feature all these other people and all these other things and hints and clues to the next movie coming up and things like that.
I don't know what Kingpin's up to.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, Kingpin's mostly in the Daredevil show now. And ever. So he has made an appearance, but mostly in the Daredevil show. But anyways, guys, yeah, that wraps it up for now. This is, I think those are also a pretty good movie. We recommend to watch it. If you are a fan of the Holland movies, and just in general, I think it's a pretty good movie. I mean,
I think he was a really good Spider. I really like him as Peter. I hate the fact that I missed out on those other films. But yeah, but I don't want to go back and watch them because this is good enough for me. Because I'm already only because it'll make me sad watching those, knowing how he was for this. That's why I don't feel like being sad.
Yeah. But yeah, so see what's going on. We got Doomsday coming up. We got some other movie that we might be seeing soon. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, yeah, check it out. It's worthwhile looking at. I think it's a good movie. I think it was fun. And I mean, I think the overall consensus, despite the complaints of the MCU, Peter in general, still a pretty fun movie.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's Mark Rodriguez signing off.
This is Jiffy Chan, also known as Jiffy. See you guys later. We'll be swinging around at some point for whatever movie we'll look at next.
Yep. Right. See you next time.
Bye.